On February 7th, one of the most narcissistic and egotistical English voice actors decided to go public with her demands to change Anran in Overwatch.
Hi friends, I'm Fareeha and I voice Anran in Overwatch.
Before that, though, complaints were already being made by Overwatch players on Reddit saying that Anran in-game looks too cute. She's not like her appearances in other Overwatch-related media. In particular, they really disliked her new nose as well, saying the nose was not big enough. For example, this post on the Overwatch subreddit titled Anran Nose Change, getting over 6,400 upvotes. With the caption, Automod wants me to write a description, the nose change is bad. She looks so much better before. The VA then decided to go to Twitter and recycle those same complaints. Now, I'm not saying she genuinely doesn't agree with those complaints, but it also comes off like she's really trying to appeal to the Overwatch community by recycling the issues that they were saying. And of course, there is an update to all of this. Blizzard has actually made changes to Anran after all, but they're not the changes this VA and so many Overwatch players were demanding. And now this VA is on an immense cope fest, which is hilarious, but we'll get to that. First, a little bit more context. Here's what she was saying about the whole nose part.
I got to mourn Anran between the design I had hoped for her and the design we ended up with. Because I think in her comic and the cinematic Elemental Kin, there was a precedent set by it. There was a unspoken promise that said, we're going to challenge the beauty standards plaguing and ransacking media these days, right? The Ozempic chic, the contour your nose, you have no nose, the tiniest nose. And I think because of that precedence, people feel understandably let down.
I found this to be so hilariously hypocritical because she's here talking about challenging beauty standards as she goes like above and beyond, putting on all this makeup, even putting contacts on just to record this PSA. But my main point is about the nose. She complains about, oh, the content creator nose. People want like no nose. It's so problematic. Dude, she looks like she contours her own nose. If you're not familiar with that, it is using makeup to make your nose look smaller and or thinner, shorter, thinner. You put a line on each side, like a darker line, a bit lighter in the middle, lighten the tip a little bit, put some darker makeup on the bottom. And that seems to be what she has done in this very clip. So it's like, lady, how are you going to complain about this standard when you yourself are partaking in the same standard, in the very same video that you're complaining about it in? So performative, so fake, so typical.
And I want you to know that I shared all of this with the dev team. Not only that, I was encouraged to be as open and honest as possible, to not hold anything back. And it's my hope that this isn't for naught, right? That they see it, they hear it from you all too. And while it's it's not my position to decide what can be done and what gets done about this, I will keep championing for...
I can't believe I'm going to say this, guys. You know what? I think maybe we were too harsh on Pokimane. Maybe we were too harsh on Valkyrie. We might have even been too harsh on Frogan. Take a look at this. Okay, obviously that's a joke, but let's take a look at the update, right? She says she hopes this was not for naught. Well, it turns out it was. And as mentioned, the cope is just reaching... the cope is... I don't even know. What word would you even describe like the most immense cope possible? It's like S tier levels of cope. She has maxed out her cope stat. Last night she posted, so grateful for this update. She looks much more like the strong older sibling we knew her to be. Thank you Team 4 and thank you Overwatch community. Talking more in depth about this on stream tonight. See ya there. So what is this change? What is she responding to? Well, we have Overwatch official here saying, in Season 2, we're introducing an updated look for Anran. She didn't fully land as the fiery and fierce sister of Wu Yang that we hoped she would. With this update, our team focused on strengthening her overall presence. This evolution reflects both our creative intent and the care we've taken in shaping the hero. See her rise from the ashes when Season 2 starts on April 14th.
I wanted to take a moment to share the updated version of Anran's in-game look. We want our heroes to feel unique, but we also want their visuals to match their personality. And we feel like we didn't quite land that when Anran first released. We think she could come across older and that her original version was too innocent and playful. Anran is confident, determined, fierce, and a natural-born leader, and we want her visuals in-game to convey that personality. So we made some adjustments to her face. We focused on her eyes, eyebrows, and mouth, and we moved away from that baby face look and expression to something more sincere and more mature. And even something like a simple posture change can help Anran feel, well, more like Anran.
I think they did a good job with the change. Overwatch and Blizzard in general has been criticized a lot lately over the Disneyfication, right? And the old design, as you can see here, definitely fit that Disneyfication stereotype plenty. The new design still has the Overwatch art style, of course, but I think it is a better look. It's a little bit less Disney-fied, and I think that's a good move. Let's also be clear, though, this is not what Fareeha, or whatever her name is, the Anran VA, and the vocally upset part of the Overwatch community wanted. They wanted something more akin to this once again. You know, they wanted the nose to be bigger. They wanted all this other stuff. That's not what they got. And now, as mentioned, the cope is immense, which we can see on her recent Twitch stream where she talks about these changes. Go ahead and take a look at this.
We got some exciting news. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, in this side by side, it doesn't look so extreme, right? But I need to pull this into something because holy. Okay, can I do Clip Studio Paint? Let's overlay these two together and you'll see how drastic the change is because holy butts. I have not gotten used to Clip Studio Paint yet. All right. Give me opacity lowered? Sure. Okay. All right. See the difference between the two? Oh my god, Clip Studio. You're so rough. Okay. That's such a huge change. Right?
No, not right. What do you mean? It's a subtle change. I like the change, but acting like it's a huge change. Oh my gosh, guys. Like, dude, I'm going to sound like a broken record now for saying again, this cope is tremendous, but like it is. I don't know what else to say. This is just sad at this point. I mean, not literally sad. It's hilarious, but you know, figure of speech.
There's also a slight like posture change, so it can't be like a direct overlay, but let's bring in a Juno screenshot. Yeah? Okay.
And then, yeah, you can see she pulls up this other character, Juno. In other words, her evidence was working so much against her point, and she realized that within mere seconds, she took off the Anran comparisons and decides to pull up a completely separate character now, once again, that being Juno, which is now a completely separate point of contention than what she's been arguing this whole time. It's a complete pivot.
To get here, this is all like cheating the light to make it fall a little differently. It's painting features in different spots and just tweaking the slightest proportions on things, but it's so very subtle, but it does so much. So let's go through the things that I notice on first glance, right?
And now to top it off, she completely contradicts her prior claims. Like a minute ago, 2 minutes ago maybe, she was saying, "It's such an extreme change, guys," right? To which I responded saying, "No, it's not, it's subtle." And now, a minute or two later, and she's the one saying it's subtle. She's completely contradicting her point that happened an extremely short time ago. But how's the Overwatch community on Twitter doing? Let's take a look. Well, some of them are not happy at all with this change. For example, this tweet that got 4,800 likes that responds to the news posting the new Anran compared to what they wanted her to be, going on to say, "Yeah, I'm not gonna speak. Whatever." Other users having a bit of duality, responding to the official news, for example, the one in the middle saying she looks fire, thank you for listening, but others saying that they wish that Blizzard did a bit more with her nose though, and she does look better, but I feel like they forgot about her nose. It's the final thing that would tie this together. Over on Reddit, we can see this user got -7 downvotes for saying her nose should be hookier. But then this person gets 7 upvotes agreeing with that person saying, yeah, like in the anime, it makes her look more regal. I liked it. Another comment saying, does she have her sharper nose back? I can't tell from the picture. Response saying, unfortunately not. Seems like they've mainly focused on her eyes, eyebrow expression, and posture, but I can live with this new version of her. So that's a little bit of public reception and the VA stuff all covered. As always, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next one.